We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Bob. Bob has an LG E-Series OLED TV, but doesn't have any expensive video calibration tools and isn't all that interested in hiring a professional calibrator. Can I just tell you something, dude? Professional calibrators can't really do much with HDR anyway, so don't worry.
There's more than HDR.
There is more than HDR at stake here, but with a little bit of help and a little bit of nudging in the right direction, you get like 90% of the way there, and the calibrator gets you the rest. Okay, so how do you feel about 90%? I bet you feel pretty good. Anyways, he's trying to find a sweet spot when adjusting his image, but he's finding it difficult to gauge where all the settings should be by eye. So without measurement device or hiring a pro, what can a home user do to calibrate this OLED as well as possible? To be honest with you, and this is funny, I had a conversation with Clint DeBoer the other day about calibrating TVs, because he and I went through the same THX calibration class. Now, of course, he got his certification because he did it like constantly, and I was not. I got 9 calibrations in, and then I needed one more, and I just didn't get one done before the end of the year, and it lapsed, so I wasn't able to do it. Anyways, he it might have been 8. I'm pretty sure it was 9 though. Anyhow, he and I talked about this the other day. He doesn't calibrate his displays when he reviews them anymore.
Yeah.
He finds it basically pointless. He says 90% of the displays he gets, just turning it on cinema and warm or warm 2, whichever one is the warmest of the warms, is enough. He goes, that gets you 90.
Gets you very close in a
very,
lot of
very
cases.
close.
I would assume he at least sets the contrast and brightness settings.
He will set those things, yeah, but he doesn't do
dependent.
full. He doesn't do full calibration. Yeah, that's room dependent, but he doesn't do full calibrations. So he's got all sorts of tools, but you don't need those tools. All you need is a disc that has a couple of calibration images, and you got one. I guarantee you've got one in your house right now, because Disney put them on like every disc for a while. I don't know if they still have them on there, but they certainly did for a very long time. So if you have like Finding Nemo, you've got one. You just stick it in there and put the thing up there. It'll walk you right through. You set brightness, contrast, you're done.
Yeah, by all accounts, every reviewer who does full calibrations when they do the review, the LG E-Series essentially doesn't need calibration. They all said like the errors in the color and the grayscale, once you do some basic settings that I'll mention in a minute, it's like the errors were 3 or lower, which is essentially what you aim for when you're doing a professional calibration, because below that your eye just can't perceive any difference. You know, maybe your super sensitive light meter could, but your eye can't. So it's basically done. And on the HDR side, it was pointless to try and calibrate the color and grayscale because the controls didn't really work properly and there wasn't really any improvement to be had anyway. So there were a few basic settings, which was it comes with some ISF storage modes, so ISF day, ISF night. So if you put it in the expert ISF night mode, and you put it to the warm 2 color setting, and you set it to the BT1886 gamma setting, which is the very well-defined gamma for standard dynamic range now. You set all of those things, you're done. All you have to set is black level and white level. That's your contrast and brightness, and that is room dependent. But that's it. You're done. On the HDR side, set it to HDR standard, because there are 3 different HDR modes. Set it to HDR standard, and you're done. There is the OLED backlight or OLED. It's akin to the backlight on LCD TV that just raises or lowers the entire light level. So you can use that to be room dependent as well. If you're in a bright room, you'll raise that level. If you're in a very dim room, you'll lower that. But that's it. So there really isn't much for you to do. If you want a disc that'll completely walk you through it, I do actually like the Disney Wow disc, the Disney World of Wonder. setup disc because it does a nice job of completely walking you through the basic. But really, all you need to set is the contrast and brightness, and you're done, man. He mentions like trying to get to the sweet spot of adjusting the image. Just to put it out there, image stuff, video stuff is very, very well defined. There isn't to taste. I mean, there is such a thing as adjusting it to taste afterward, but there actually are very well defined picture definitions of exactly where things are supposed to measure and set, and they hit them basically out of the box as long as you put those basic settings in.
So there's two things that could possibly, when I read this question, there's two possible things I saw that he's doing. He is trying to set like red, green, blue levels, that sort of stuff by eye. No one does that. You can't. Literally cannot be done. I mean, it sure can be done. I don't know anybody that could do it, and that includes a lot of professional calibrators, and none of them would even bother trying. So a lot of these are just to set grayscale and do it that way. If you're doing that, stop. Set it to default it, go back to put the settings that Rob said in there, and you're good to go. But if you're now watching TV, you go, everybody's too red. I have to change the setting. No, you have to change the channel because that channel is having an issue. Unless you're seeing redness throughout all your channels, all your different sources, then you know there's a problem with the display. You can't change the setting of the display. You take the display back and you make them give you a new one or fix the one you've got because it's an issue. Because that's sort of what's going on there. You can't look by eye and fix the color. And if you're seeing color issues, it's because something is amiss. What is that noise?
I do not know. I'm not hearing it on my end.
Oh, it's a plane. Ugh.
Okay.
All right. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.